In this video, we're going to look at estimation. So the question says, work out an estimate for the following calculation by rounding each number to one significant figure. So the question here is actually telling you what you need to do. You need to round each of the three values to one significant figure. So let's take 9.1. Okay, the first significant figure in that number is the 9. So we're going to round to whatever column that's in. So that's in the ones column. So we round into the nearest whole number. So 9.1 to one significant figure is 9. Let's do the same with 49.4. So first significant figure here is the 4, the first one, which is in the tens column. So I'm rounding to the nearest 10, which is 50. And I'm going to do the same with 2.99. Okay, so the first significant figure is the 2, which is again in the ones column. So I'm rounding to the nearest whole number, which is 3. So I can now rewrite the original calculation. So 9.1 becomes 9, 49.4 becomes 50, and then 2.99 becomes 3. So now that I've got that, I can do the calculation. So 9 times 50 is 450, and I'm dividing it by 3. So what I can do here is use bus stop. So 450 divided by 3. So 3's into 4 go once, carry the 1. 3's into 15 go 5 times. And 3's into 0 go 0. So my answer there is going to be 150. Okay? So have a go at these questions on here. It's the same idea where you've got to round to one significant figure each time. So I'd pause the video, answer these questions, and I'll go through them. Okay, so rounding each of these to one significant figure. So the first one would be 40 plus 40, which is 80. The second one, 200 minus 100, which is 100. The third one, okay, let's get a little bit more room. So the third one, if I round each of the values, I've got 200 plus 700 divided by 10 minus 4. So 900 divided by 6. Again, I can use bus stop method for that. 6 into 9 go 1, carry the 3. 6 into 35, and then 0, so 150. And if we look at D, I've got 50 minus 10 divided by 4 minus 2, which is 40 divided by 2, which is 20. And then if we look at the last two, so E, 5 times 8 divided by 4, so 40 divided by 4, which is 10. And then 4 divided by 2 squared, so 4 divided by 4, which is 1. Now, let's look at that bottom question. So it says, reflect and reason. Why would it not be appropriate to round the values in this question to one significant figure in order to estimate an answer? So we're looking at why it's not appropriate. Next, we have a look here at the question a bit bigger. Now, let's think about if we did round the values to one significant figure, what would the answer be? So 37.1. Well, the first significant figure is the 3, which is in the tens column. So 37.1 to the nearest 10 is 40. 4.2. First significant figure is the 4, which is in the ones. Round to the nearest whole number, it's 4. So if I rounded each to the nearest one significant figure, I'd have the square root of 40 divided by the square root of 4. And this is where the issue is. Actually, square root of 40 is very difficult to do, and you can't do it estimating very easily. So when we've got questions like this, where we're trying to do estimate using roots, I would write out my square numbers first, because they're both square roots. So 1 times 1 is 1, 2 is a 4, 3 is a 9, 4 is a 16, and so on. Okay, so it's important that you know those. And what we're looking for here is actually the closest square number. So one significant figure would be too difficult for us because we couldn't do the square root of 40. So what we're actually going to try and do now is find the closest square number to 37.1. which in this case is 36. Okay, so I'm going to use square root of 36. Then again, square root of 4.2, well the closest square number here is 4, which actually is one significant figure, but we're looking for the closest square number. So I've got the square root of 36 divided by the square root of 4. Well, square root of 36 is 6, square root of 4 is 2, so 6 divided by 2, which gets me 3.